Hey everyone, my name's Aaron the Wolf, and this movie really blows. I am a huge fan of the Uncharted games, having played every single one besides the PS Vita game, and I plan on making a retrospective of the series later this year. Hopefully. Needless to say, I care very deeply about this franchise. So when I saw the announcement of an Uncharted movie, I was pretty skeptical. And when the cast was revealed, I knew I wasn't gonna like this movie. I mean, Tom Holland isn't the worst choice for Nathan Drake, but Mark Wahlberg as Victor goddamn Sullivan? Are you actually kidding me? So yeah, I really wasn't looking forward to this movie just for that reason alone. And now that I've watched it, I mean, it wasn't infuriating, but it was still pretty bad. Let's just get this out of the way. Mark Wahlberg as Sully is actually one of the worst casting choices I think I've ever seen in a movie before. The thing is, I already don't really like Mark Wahlberg as an actor, considering that he just plays himself most of the time, but even past that, he's just really bad here. Sully is one of my favorite characters in the Uncharted series, simply because despite the fact that he's a con man, he's still charming and likable. Plus, in those games, you buy the chemistry between Nate and Sully because of how they're written, and the performances by Nolan North and Richard McGonagle. I won't go into too much detail because I want to say more in the Uncharted retrospective, but Sully is one of my favorite parts of the Uncharted series. Meanwhile, this dipshit is a sad excuse for the character. Looking past the miscasting here, he's just not likable or charming whatsoever. I honestly don't see how he and Tom Holland Nate have any chemistry whatsoever. Mark doesn't even have a mustache in this movie, which shows you just how much he didn't care in this movie. And before any of you go, oh, well, it's a prequel, it's probably before he had a mustache. Ahem. Uncharted 3 has a flashback scene to where Nate and Sully first met, and oh, what's that? Why, it's a mustache! This movie actually has no excuse. It took one of my favorite characters in a PlayStation game and made him into a selfish prick that doesn't have any charm whatsoever. But yeah, the rest of the cast is just whatever. As far as Tom Holland is concerned, even though he constantly gets typecasted in films like this, I'll give him credit that he isn't just playing Peter Parker again. He does at least try to be a different character this time. Now look, I don't hate Tom Holland whatsoever, it's just, Hollywood, you know that there are other actors, right? But yeah, all the other actors are pretty forgettable here. The actress for Chloe Frazier honestly feels like she doesn't even want to be here most of the time. She left such little impact, considering that she is one of the main characters of Uncharted 2, and even got her own Uncharted game. Everyone else is just kind of there. Antonio Banderas was the villain for like a third of the movie, and he has no personality outside of what the actor gives him. The twist villain is honestly super lame. Like, they made practically no build-up, and she has no character whatsoever. I don't even know what her motivation is for finding the treasure. She's just there to be the antagonist. Like, Navarro. F***ing Navarro had an actual motivation to be the villain. And he's at least played by the brilliant Robin Atkin Downes. This girl is just a nothing character. The score, outside of the one time they use Nate's theme towards the end, is really forgettable. Also, boo! Using generic pop songs completely kills the musical identity of Uncharted. Boo! Uncharted's whole theme for the music is that they didn't want to go for generic rock pieces. They wanted the entirety of the music to feel like it came out of an Indiana Jones movie. Uncharted 2022 makes no attempt whatsoever in keeping this theme going. It's just a bunch of generic action-adventure music most of the time. Did I like anything from this movie at all? Well, I guess the action, for what it's worth, was okay. There was at least an attempt to make the action scenes engaging. Tom Holland was okay, as I said before. Visually, it looks fine. And seeing Nolan North appear for a quick cameo did give me a tiny bit of serotonin, so that was nice. But other than that, it's just so obvious how derivative this film is from the franchise. Several of the scenes are ripped straight out of Uncharted 3 and 4, just to pander to the fans. That's pretty much how I feel about this movie. As a standalone film, it's bland and forgettable. As an Uncharted film, it's derivative as hell. No matter how good the action scenes could ever get, I know I could just be playing them instead, you know? In the real Uncharted. So yeah, this movie was pretty bad. Don't really know what you were expecting, honestly. Just watch the 2018 fan film starring Nathan Fillion. That's an actual Uncharted film. So yeah, 3 out of 10. Don't bother. It's simply a waste of time.